My colleague.
Manhunt ends. Escaped New Orleans inmate Derrick Groves cornered in Atlanta after 5-month chase by Grok News Desk. October 8, 2025. In a dramatic turn that brings closure to one of Louisiana's most notorious jailbreaks, authorities have cornered Derrick Groves, a convicted murderer who slipped out of the Orleans Parish Justice Center nearly 5 months ago. The 31-year-old fugitive, described by prosecutors as a cold-blooded killer, was located in Atlanta, Georgia, marking the end of a tense cross-country pursuit that captivated the nation. As law enforcement closes in, questions linger about how Groves evaded capture for so long and what dangers he posed to the public during his time on the run. The breakthrough comes on October 8, 2025, when reports from Fox News confirmed that Groves had been pinned down in the Georgia capital. For months, federal investigators warned that the escapee might seek out witnesses from his high-profile trial, adding a layer of urgency to the manhunt. With Groves now cornered, officials are breathing a sigh of relief, but the operation remains fluid as they work to take him into custody without incident. The bloody roots of a life sentence. Derrick Groves' path to infamy began amid the vibrant chaos of New Orleans Mardi Gras celebrations in early 2024. What should have been a night of revelry at a bustling block party turned into a scene of horror when gunfire erupted, claiming 2 lives and leaving several others wounded. Groves, then 30, was swiftly identified as the shooter. In a swift and resounding verdict later that year, an Orleans Parish jury convicted him of second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder. The judge wasted no time in sentencing him to life in prison without the possibility of parole, a punishment meant to ensure that such violence would never again mar the streets of the Crescent City. Prosecutors painted a grim portrait of Groves during the trial, labeling him a cold-blooded killer, with a documented history of violent offenses. The Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office emphasized that his actions at the Mardi Gras party were not impulsive but calculated, underscoring the depth of his criminal mindset. "This man has left a trail of devastation," one prosecutor stated during closing arguments, a sentiment echoed in official statements following his escape. The conviction was a victory for a community still reeling from the shooting, but it proved short-lived. A daring escape. The May jailbreak that shocked the South. In the evening of May 16, 2025, the Orleans Parish Justice Center, a fortress-like facility in the heart of New Orleans, became the stage for one of the most audacious prison breaks in recent Louisiana history. Groves, along with 9 other inmates, vanished into the night, slipping through security measures in a coordinated effort that exposed vulnerabilities in the jail's operations. The escape sent shockwaves through the region, prompting an immediate multi-agency response involving local police, state troopers, and federal agents. Details of the breakout emerged in the days that followed, revealing a plot that relied on insider assistance. Federal investigators quickly zeroed in on accomplices outside the jail walls, including Groves' girlfriend, Dariana Burton. A former employee of the Justice Center, Burton was arrested shortly after the escape and charged with aiding and abetting the fugitives. Authorities believe she smuggled tools or information that facilitated the inmates' departure, though specifics remain under wraps due to ongoing probes. "We know he didn't do this alone," a federal source involved in the investigation remarked at the time. "These escapes require planning, resources, and betrayal from within." The jailbreak wasn't just a personal triumph for Groves, it was part of a larger exodus that tested the limits of law enforcement. 9 of the 10 escapees were rounded up within weeks, their captures splashed across headlines as small victories in a larger battle. Some were found hiding in abandoned buildings on New Orleans' outskirts, others attempting to hitch rides out of state. But Groves proved the slippery one, vanishing into the underbelly of America's roadways and urban shadows. As the last man standing, or rather, running, his evasion fueled speculation. Was he heading south to Mexico? North to Canada, or blending into the anonymity of a distant city? Life on the lam, a fugitive's shadow over 2 states for nearly 5 months, Groves eluded the dragnet, a ghost in a system designed to track him at every turn. U.S. Marshals, FBI agents, and Louisiana State Police coordinated a relentless search, plastering his face on wanted posters and alerting transportation hubs from Baton Rouge to Baltimore. Tips poured in from as far as Texas and Florida, but each lead fizzled. False sightings of a man with his distinctive tattoos or a gait that matched surveillance footage. What made Groves particularly dangerous, according to federal briefings, was his potential motive. Investigators feared he might target witnesses from his 2024 trial, individuals who had bravely testified against him in the Mardi Gras shooting case. "He's not just running from us, he could be running toward unfinished business," warned a Louisiana State Police spokesperson in a June press conference. This threat elevated the manhunt from routine to red alert status, with rewards climbing into the tens of thousands for information leading to his arrest. Sightings trickled in sporadically. A blurry photo from a gas station in Mississippi, whispers of him crashing with distant relatives in Alabama. But it was Atlanta, the sprawling metropolis with its web of interstates and transient populations, that ultimately became his undoing. Whether drawn by old connections or the promise of a fresh start in the city's underbelly, Groves made a fatal misstep. On October 8, as rain-slicked streets buzzed with rush-hour traffic, a tip from a vigilant citizen or a digital trail from a prepaid phone led authorities straight to him. Cornered in the Peach State, the final stand the news broke like a thunderclap. Derrick Groves, the last fugitive from New Orleans' infamous May jailbreak, had been cornered in Atlanta. Fox News, citing sources close to the operation, reported the development in real time, detailing how a joint task force of Georgia Bureau of Investigation agents and U.S. Marshals had boxed him in. The exact location, a nondescript apartment complex in the city's southwest suburbs, remains under lockdown as negotiators and SWAT teams encircle the site. Eyewitness accounts from the neighborhood paint a picture of tense anticipation. There were cop cars everywhere, lights flashing like the 4th of July, said one resident who declined to give her name. Helicopters overhead, barking dogs, it felt like something out of a movie. As of press time, Groves had not been taken into custody, but officials expressed confidence that the end was near. "We've got him surrounded, it's only a matter of time," a law enforcement insider told reporters on the scene. The operation's success underscores the power of interagency collaboration in an era of mobile threats. From the bayous of Louisiana to the skyscrapers of Atlanta, technology played a starring role. Facial recognition software sifting through traffic cams, cell tower pings narrowing the grid, and public tips amplified by social media. Yet, for all the high-tech wizardry, it was human vigilance that sealed the deal, a reminder that fugitives like Groves thrive in the shadows but crumble under the light of community eyes. Reflections on a flawed system and a city on edge. As the sun sets on this chapter of chaos, New Orleans can finally exhale. The Mardi Gras shooting that launched Groves' notoriety scarred a community already grappling with gun violence and post-pandemic recovery. His escape amplified those wounds, forcing residents to question the security of their justice system. How did 10 inmates vanish from a supposedly impenetrable jail? Investigations into the Orleans Parish facility are ongoing, with calls for reforms ranging from better staff vetting to upgraded surveillance. For the witnesses who stared down Groves in court, today's news brings a measure of peace. "We've been looking over our shoulders for months," one anonymous source connected to the trial confided. "Knowing he's cornered feels like justice catching up." And for Dariana Burden, the accomplice now facing her own reckoning in federal court, the web of loyalty to a killer has unraveled spectacularly. Derrick Groves' story is one of violence unchecked, escape attempted, and pursuit unrelenting. As authorities move to cuff him once more, it serves as a stark reminder, in the pursuit of justice, no runner stays free forever. The streets of Atlanta, now a temporary stage for this drama, will soon fade from the spotlight. But in New Orleans, the echoes of that Mardi Gras night, and the resolve to prevent another, will linger long after the helicopters depart.